Now, I don't want to talk too much about the Bucks. They lost. They needed Giannis. We can understand that. It would have been a different series if Giannis was there healthy from the start of the series. But I don't want to take away from the Miami Heat. I don't want to take away from Jimmy Butler. And I don't want to take away from Erik Spoelstra, somebody who I think gets discredited a lot. And I'm pretty sure there's videos in the past, there's podcast episodes in the past where I talk about Erik Spoelstra and how good he is and how underrated he is as a coach, because it's easy, right? It's easy to discredit somebody for their rings because at the end of the day, he only has the titles that he has with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. So yes, it could become easy to say, well, yeah, no, duh. Who isn't winning titles with those three guys? It doesn't take a brilliant coach, a mastermind coach. You don't need a Phil Jackson. You don't need a Greg Popovich to win titles with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. But I think the brilliance of Erik Spoelstra, yes, those are going to sit in his mantle. Those are on his resume. At the end of the day, a championship on your resume is still going to be there. There is no asterisk on that. If he ever goes into the Hall of Fame, they're not going to say Hall of Fame coach, X amount of titles in parentheses, but he won it with Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh. It's not going to happen. When you win a finals, it's there. It's in your resume. But the brilliance of Erik Spoelstra and Pat Riley obviously being what's known as the mastermind to put the rosters together. The brilliance in these two, but I really want to stay on Erik Spoelstra here. The brilliance of him is post that era, post that team, because that team was the most talented. But after that, has he had the most talented team? They've consistently had success since then with the likes of Jimmy Butler, who you go, well, Jimmy Butler's a great player. Hold on now. Don't try to discredit Jimmy Butler. Absolutely not. You know what I think about playoff Jimmy. But Jimmy Butler could have done this in Chicago. Jimmy Butler could have done this in Minnesota. Jimmy Butler has been released from those teams. They didn't think they can win. They didn't think they can have consistent success with Jimmy Butler. There was one team where he fits in. There is one coach that has made it work with him, and that's Erik Spoelstra and the Miami Heat and what he's done with this core. Now you remember, yes, the Bucks are missing Giannis. The Miami Heat lost Tyler Hero very early in that series with a broken hand, and they didn't have him. They're not going to have him anymore. He's a massive part of this team. He is a massive, massive part in the scoring. They rely on him to be another ball handler. They rely on him to be a consistent shooter. They rely on him to put pressure on the defense, and he's gone. And they still are extremely competitive even without him. Now we're in round 2. They're 1-1 with the New York Knicks. They go into New York after having those closeout games, the game 4 and game 5, going into New York, beating the Knicks in game 1, and then guess what? Not having Jimmy Butler for game 2 and still winning that one. Still being competitive in that one. The Knicks won 111-105. Jimmy Butler was not there, but he won 111-105. That game was very close. Came down to the wire without Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. If I told you, hey, the Miami Heat are going to the second round, you would say, not going to happen. Now, if I said, hey, in the second round, they're going to be 1-1 in a game where they didn't have Jimmy Butler or Tyler Hero, you would say I'm absolutely nuts. And this is the brilliance of Erik Spoelstra. He gets them to play hard, to play physical, to play intelligent basketball. He says things about Jimmy Butler like this is one of the most, if not the most intelligent basketball I've ever been around. Don't forget, he was the coach of LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. So it says something about Erik Spoelstra's ability to coach a team. Now, I'm not saying, hey, we're ready to put him in the Hall of Fame. We're ready to consider him the absolutely best coach in the NBA today. I'm not ready to say that about Erik Spoelstra yet, but I feel like he deserves more credit than he's been getting. The dude knows ball. The dude has put in his time. He has paid his dues. And you've seen him have consistent success even when he has a roster that you feel won't. Even when he's the A seed. Even when he's barely, by the skin of it. They were hanging on by a thread to make the playoffs. They lost the first play-in game. They lose their first play-in game. They're one game away from not even playing the Bucks at all, from going home. They win that game, get to the Milwaukee Bucks, and everybody, including myself, is saying, cool, let's get this series over with. We want to see Milwaukee against New York or Cleveland, whoever that's going to be. And they shock everybody. And here I was thinking, why do I rule out Erik Spoelstra? Why did I automatically just rule him out and think that, hey, there's just no way in hell they're going to be able to beat the Bucks, especially when Giannis went down in game one? That door was wide open, with or without Tyler Hero, who, again, major part of that team. Didn't even matter that they lost him. Still got it done. Still extremely competitive in game two without Jimmy Butler. Good news for Jimmy Butler. Definitely should be back for game three. From what I've seen, there's no reason that he won't be back. Hey guys, thanks for watching this clip from the Sicko Sports Podcast. If you want to catch the full episodes, you got to head over to Spotify. Just type in Sicko Sports Podcast, or you can just click the link that's down in the description. Thanks as always. See you next time.